Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Universal Studios versus Disney World. Okay, I have a whole list of pros and cons, which you should know if you're thinking about coming to Orlando for a vacation. I grew up in Florida. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, which is only 2 hours away from Orlando. So every summer, that was our vacation. Our vacation was to go to Orlando. Okay, I didn't go on a cruise until I was an adult. I never got on a plane until I was an adult. The only vacation that we took was to Orlando or New York to see family. No in between. So I feel very qualified to talk about the different parks. And also, I'm very unbiased because I didn't grow up on Disney Channel movies. I know a lot of people love Disney World because they just grew up on Disney and it's a part of their childhood, and it's like, oh my gosh, Disney. But no, not me. I have a brother that's a lot older than me, so when we would be watching movies and stuff, it was going to be tailored to, like, we didn't watch a lot of animated movies. It was going to be tailored to something that we all could watch. So I never even seen movies like Snow White, Cinderella, Princess and the Frog, all of that. I never seen that. So I never had that like deep connection, like, oh my gosh, this place is just magical. Like, no, y'all. So I'm completely unbiased. So you can trust my opinion, okay? So if I'm looking down, again, I have some notes on my phone. So let's just jump right into it. Disney and Universal. Disney, and I'm not, speaking to the water parks. Disney has 4 parks, okay? And Universal only has 2. Now, I don't know anything about Disney's water park, so I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm not going to compare. All I know is Universal's Volcano Bay, beautiful. It's newer. It hasn't been, open long, but if you want to go to a water park, that water park is very nice. Like, even if you decided not to go to Universal Studios at all, I would say put Volcano Bay as a part of your trip. Now, I don't know anything about Disney's water parks, so I can't speak to that, but Disney does have 4 parks and Universal has 2 parks. Me personally, I feel like Disney has 3 parks because I just don't think that Epcot is great if you're going to go to Disney, and you're not going to do like the park hopper. I personally would not do Epcot unless you just have really small children. I just feel like Epcot is more of an experience thing and less about like enjoyment for like the rides. They maybe have 2 adult friendly rides. The rest is kind of like just animated, just going through like, if you've never been to Universal, like I would compare it to like if you've been to Universal, like the Dr. Seuss ride. Like, it's very kid friendly. It's just, personally, I don't count it as like a great theme park. But anyways, so Disney has 4 parks, Universal only has 2 parks. So if you are planning on coming from out of town, just know that, if you're planning to do Disney and you're trying to hit all parks, you need to be in Orlando for at least 5 days. You need to be there for close to a week, like plan a whole week vacation. So you're gonna need to save a lot more money because Orlando is already gonna be expensive because of the parks. Try to find a bundle. I would definitely try to find a travel agent, or some type of bundle with a hotel, because it's going to be cheaper if you do it that way. Whereas Universal is only 2 parks. So there were times that we did both in one day, like especially if you have a fast pass or it's like you don't want to hit all the rides. If you get there right in the morning, we did both in one day. But I think you should spread it out in 2 days, just to get the full experience. But it's definitely more doable. Like with Universal, it's a lot more walkable. So I can leave out of Universal Studios and go over to Island of Adventure, and I don't have to worry about getting in my car and driving to another park or getting on like a shuttle or something. I don't have to worry about that, right? So it's definitely, in my opinion, more walkable and more doable if you don't have a lot of time. Now, I think Disney World is definitely a world attraction. People come out of the country just to go to Disney World. Okay, everybody wants to go to Disney World because it just reminds them of their childhood. It's the magical place. So it's gonna be a lot more crowded. Me personally, I don't have like I said in the beginning of the video, I didn't grow up on like Disney Channel movies and like watching all these movies. I don't know. I can't even name Disney Channel, a lot of the animated Disney Channel movies, because I didn't watch them. Okay, Pocahontas, all of that. I don't know nothing about that. Okay, the movie with the elephant or something, I don't know. I didn't grow up on that, so I think a lot of people like Disney too because, again, it reminds them of their childhood. It's, even their children, like, they know Disney, right? They know Disney movies. So Disney is crowded a lot of the time. Like even when I went in November, it was crowded. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people have Disney annual passes, and they would just go, like they love them some Disney. So I definitely just expect. That's why I say Disney is not a place like you need to be there if you're trying to hit multiple parks the whole week. Because when I went to Epcot to get on Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever it's called, 4-hour wait. Actually, I think because you have to get in a queue. I got in the queue for when we got there at 11. The queue didn't open till noon, and then our slot was 4:30. So we had hit everything in the park, and we were still at, like, we got on every ride, and we were just sitting and waiting to get on this last ride. So it's definitely more crowded. Now Universal is still crowded. A lot of people go to Universal because Universal, honestly, I feel like I slept on. It has a lot of great rides. And when I say Universal, I mean like Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, like both parks together, because when you talk about it, you're really talking about both parks. But they have some really good rides too. Really good rides. And Universal still kind of has that, you know, just like, you know, in Disney, the characters will be walking around some of the parks. Universal has that too. Like you'll see like Spider-Man and like the Avengers. You'll get that experience too. Maybe it's better for like older kids, you know, but you still get that experience. And again, I think that their rides, they have more adult friendly rides, like, again, and that's in comparison to Epcot, because if you go to like Animal Kingdom, it's different. But yeah, I personally, so yeah, like I said, Disney's 4 parks, Universal's 2 parks. Universal, I think I said, I don't know if I said this because I don't remember, I'm just talking, it's more affordable. Again, because it's 2 parks, but even if you take out the fact that Universal's only 2 parks and Disney is 4 parks, Disney is just more expensive. Even if you do 1 park, like 1 park at Disney is like $220, and I'm going based off of like Florida resident discount or whatever. Disney 1 park is like $219, whereas Universal 1 park is like $129. So it's about $100 difference. And to me personally, like I said when I was talking about Epcot in my opinion is not worth $220. Child, they need to be charging the $129 that Universal is charging. Okay, so Universal is a lot more affordable. And then also too with Universal, Universal has City Walk, and that's kind of comparable to Disney Springs, but again, it's all right there. It's all right there. You don't got to get in your car and be trying to go to different places, getting on shuttles. You don't have to do that. It's all in one vicinity. So I just feel like it's a lot easier to do Universal in comparison to Disney. Like, it just depends on how much time you have and how much patience you have. Okay. If you're an adult, me personally, as an adult, I would much rather go to Universal. I would much rather go to Universal, but it's definitely preference. I think that, you know, at Universal, Harry Potter is top tier. Like, they did great with Harry Potter. But I also do like Disney, but again, Universal is just a lot more doable if you're trying to hit both parks. It's a lot more affordable. I don't even think that they do the whole little queue thing. I know they do the queue thing at Volcano Bay, but the last time that I went to Universal, even on their popular rides, they didn't make you get in a queue, which I feel like is so annoying to have to download the Disney app. So when we went, it was like 7 or 8 of us. So we all had to download the Disney app. We had to create a group, all join this group so we could all get into the queue together, so we could all get the same time slot to get on the ride or whatever. I don't want to get in a queue. I would much rather just stand in line for an hour and 15 minutes. You know, like at Universal, you see the wait time. I would much rather just stand in line than be downloading stuff on my phone. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, what about people who don't have phones? What about old people? Like, that is just, to make somebody download an app, I just think that it's just like, dude, like, I'm gonna delete the app after this. Now, what I do like about the app is when you are on the rides, especially when you do the queue, when you take the picture, because when you check in, it knows that you checked in for the ride. When you get your little picture on the roller coaster screaming, it'll go to your app. So I do like that it's easier to get your pictures. Even when you're taking pictures on the park, you can just real quickly screenshot it. But it's like, dude, I don't want this app on my phone. I don't want it on my phone. But yeah, so it's just all personal preference, but these are just things to think about if you are coming for the first time, and what you like and how much time you have to spend, how much money you have to spend. Again, me personally, I am definitely a Universal person, but they're both great parks. They are both great parks. Now, I don't know about Disney's water park, but I think Volcano Bay, they did a great job with that. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, I did just post another video before this one. If you're thinking about moving to South Florida or Florida period, definitely go check out that video. I'm going to be doing some apartment touring in South Florida because I am moving. I am going to be moving to Broward County. I've only lived in Miami-Dade, so I'm moving to Broward. So if you want to see that type of content, just to see what's on the Florida market, definitely make sure you give me a follow. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.